It's always so exciting when we find out who will play one of the most famous superhero characters in the history of comic books. So far, we have seen 3 Peter Parkers: Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland. However, you won't be surprised if we tell you that countless famous actors have auditioned for this role, and some were quite close to becoming Spider-Man. Check out the list of actors who almost played Spider-Man. In the end of the video, we have bonus information about what Michael Jackson had to do with the franchise. Be sure, this fact is worth waiting for. But now, back to the actors who could have played Peter Parker. Tom Cruise. Long before you saw the first Spider-Man movie, Marvel Comics had been working alongside the biggest studios, trying to adapt the superhero into live action.
Fly!
Let us not overload you with the details, but let's just say that one of the strangest unmade films ever has to be the version of Spider-Man by Canon Pictures, with Tom Cruise as a prime candidate for Peter Parker. Hard to say if the movie would have become popular had it been filmed. Why? Well, it was planned as a horror movie, where Parker gets deliberately bombarded with radiation and transforms into a giant 8-armed spider hybrid who becomes suicidal. What? Leonardo DiCaprio. Following the success of James Cameron's Titanic, Sony Pictures approached the young actor, who had previously worked with director Sam Raimi. And guess what? DiCaprio turned down the role and didn't even screen test for it, thinking he was not ready to put on a superhero suit at that time. But Tobey Maguire was ready and played his part perfectly well. Heath Ledger. The late Heath Ledger will be remembered for his numerous outstanding roles, but Spider-Man is not one of them. Ledger's former agent Steve Alexander revealed that his client was #1 choice for the first superhero movie. The noble Hollywood star, however, was confused and told his agent he didn't know much about the character. Ledger didn't want to land the part without fully appreciating Spider-Man's history. And we all know how seriously Heath Ledger took all of his characters. James Franco. Franco originally wanted to play Peter Parker and screen tested for the main character. The actor confessed he was disappointed when the director called him to say the part had gone to Maguire. But he was instantly offered the role of Parker's friend Harry Osborn that made his career flourish. Jake Gyllenhaal. Maguire was almost substituted by Gyllenhaal for Spider-Man 2. The leading actor injured his back while filming Seabiscuit, shortly before he had to proceed with the superhero sequel. It forced the studio to consider a replacement. Sony entered negotiations with Gyllenhaal, who had previously screen tested for the role. The good news for Maguire fans is that he recovered just in time.
My back! Oh, my back!
Another piece of good news is that Gyllenhaal still made his way into the franchise in the latest Spider-Man film. Daniel Radcliffe. As if it's not enough for Radcliffe to be the world's most famous wizard, he was also hypothetically interested in joining the Marvel franchise. Radcliffe, aged 27 then, told The Mirror, "I would have been a good Spider-Man, but the boat has sailed on that. And I'm very happy to watch Tom Holland do it. He's fantastic. We don't know how we would treat Radcliffe as Spidey, but we definitely agree with him that his fellow countryman Holland is fantastic." Jamie Bell. Jamie Bell screen tested for the part of Peter Parker in The Amazing Spider-Man and went pretty far in the process, with reports saying he got in the final shortlist alongside Andrew Garfield. You might have guessed who landed the role. But what surprises us here is actually how strongly Jamie Bell resembles Tom Holland, who became Spider-Man after Garfield. Take a look at these two. They're like brothers. Anton Yelchin. Sadly, another late young actor is on this list. Charismatic, likable, and notably diverse, Yelchin could make an outstanding superhero. In 2010, reports suggested that Yelchin was one of the top contenders for the gig. Despite his young age, he was already known for his roles in McGee's Terminator Salvation and Star Trek reboot. Even though he didn't land the part, the actor had no problem continuing his impressive career, until his tragic death in 2016, at the age of 27. Remember we promised to tell you what the king of pop Michael Jackson had to do with the franchise? Here we go! Long before the first movie was released, the Billie Jean singer had been planning to buy Marvel jointly with Stan Lee in the late 1990s to play the main role in the movie. But the deal fell through, and we will never know what that movie would be like, for better or for worse. That's all for today. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel.